This is Buzz from the Melvins, and this is the first time that the Melvins went on tour in 1986. So we take off from Washington State in a van, a 1972 Dodge van. I had taken leaves and held them up to the van and spray painted around them as a sort of camouflage. I drove all night. We were supposed to be touring with a band who I would call BP. They said that they were staying at this really cool girl's house, and we were able to stay there as well before the show. We get there, we meet the really cool girl who comes out. She's a little bit overweight, wearing leather pants, proceeds to lay out 2 giant rails of crystal methadone, does both of them right in front of us and says, "See you later, I'm on my way to work." I asked them, where does she work? And they said that she was some kind of investment banker in San Francisco. That was when the BP guys told us that there was a problem with the show and we might not be able to play tonight because the promoter didn't like our band name, and maybe he would have to take a look at us before he would allow us to play. So we head down to the show, which is at the On Broadway, which is basically a club surrounded by strip joints at that point. We go into the club, we meet the rat-faced promoter who takes one look at us and tells us that we're not playing no matter what, even if they don't pay us, but reluctantly allows us to watch the show. In the backstage area is when we meet the headlining band and all of their entourage, one of which proceeds to sit down on the couch, pass out, and piss herself. So the first actual show we're going to play after the San Francisco show, which didn't happen, is in El Paso. The BP guys tell us that we can actually stay at this cool girl's house, but we decided instead to drive all night towards Phoenix. On our way to Phoenix, our van breaks down. Now, we're supposed to meet our friend Chris Novoselic, who ended up in the band Nirvana, but this is well before Nirvana when he had a bank account of 0. So he had moved to Phoenix for work, but obviously didn't have a phone, so we had no way of calling him. So we finally get our van fixed. We roll into town well after midnight, and I see a bank temperature gauge, which says that the temperature outside is about 110. We drive to Chris's house, who's basically given up on us, stay for about 5 minutes, and leave for El Paso. So we drive all the way to El Paso, only to find out that the band canceled the rest of the tour. So we decided to continue with the tour with the band that we meet up, which is RKL. RKL was doing okay because they had broken into a skateboard shop right before the tour and stolen a whole bunch of skateboard parts, which they were selling to other skate shops along the way in order to finance their trip. At the venue, which is basically an abandoned building with every single wall blown out of it, the promoter tells us the place is destroyed, but that's okay because it's the last show they're going to have, and he wasn't expecting that many people anyway. The floor in front of the stage is covered with rubble. The 4 people who actually show up stand on the rubble till both bands are done, leave, and the promoter gives us about $10 to split. At that moment was when I realized that touring for the Melvins in 1986 wasn't a very good idea.